Alrighty peeps, what is up? Welcome back to my channel. Today we are working on my last layout for Story Kit Crush Watch Edition. And I used my kit last week to tell a story about the new normal. And it's kind of perfect that we're doing this kit right now because there's so many watch appropriate stories. And I know I'm not the only one who's going through this, but the only way I've been able to see my family and see my people is through screens, right? We're all supposed to be, if you aren't, please do it. We're all supposed to be socially distancing ourselves right now. And that means we can't be out and about with our family and our friends, right? And that sucks. But that's the, what we have to sacrifice to stay healthy. And so the only way I'm seeing my family right now is, like I said this already, is through screens. And so I have been taking pictures of my screens every time I do a Zoom call or a FaceTime session or some sort of like video chatting. I've been taking pictures of my screens and it is perfect for this story. So to get ready, I did a few things. I printed directly on my journaling card because I almost never do that. And I always end up with like a million cards by the time we're done with a kit. So I'm trying to print directly on my journaling card. So I did some journaling on this card. This card says watching around here. And I just did some journaling about what's on my screen. And then I'm just going to put 2 filler cards in this pocket. And this side's done. I'm not going to like over embellish it. Maybe I'll pull it out and add something else, but that's pretty much done. And then for this side, I have another piece of paper. I'm probably going to stamp the date on this one, so I'm going to leave it out. And I did some journaling about what quarantine life looks like. And then for my inserts, I printed out a few things. So I printed out a bunch of these photos, 2 1/4 by 3. And I want to use the acrylic piece. It's my mission to use the acrylic piece in at least one of my projects every time I do Story Kit Crush. I really want to use the acrylic piece because it's what hangs it's what I have last. So here's my plan, is to put that like that, and then I have some more for the side. So I'm just going to create a quick grid layout using my stuff. So like I said, I printed some photos of my screens, and then I took the journaling cards that made sense, like that the themes made sense for what we're documenting right now, and I scaled them down in Photoshop and printed them the same size as my pictures. So just gonna make sure that's straight. I think that's pretty straight. Okay, it's pretty straight. Yeah, so I printed them the same size as my pictures, and I ended up with 5 pictures. I have a few more pictures of like what I was watching on TV, but I figured for this layout I'm talking about, so when I started it, I didn't know if I wanted to include what I was watching on TV also. That's what I meant to say. But for the story I'm telling, I'm just talking about connecting through screen. So I just chose to print a few pictures of like my iPad during some live streams. Like I watched my friend Heba do a live stream. So I took a picture of her, I took a picture of my iPad while I was sitting at my computer and working on something. So that's one of my stories. I took a picture of Lael Konkar. She was doing a free traveler's notebook class, and I see a lot of the people in the community are doing free classes right now, which I think is super cool. So yeah, so I took a picture of her while she was doing her free class. I had a crafty chat with my friend Jessica, so I took a picture of my iPad while I was doing that. And then I had a Zoom call with my family and a Zoom call with my nursing study group because we're still studying for our NCLEX with everything else that's been going on. Our boards were delayed, so we're still studying. So I had a quick Zoom call with my study group. I say quick, but we were on the phone for like 2 hours, which is like normal for us. These are my people, right? And I'm doing the best I can to stay connected to them however, we have to. Because we're doing the responsible thing by staying home. And hopefully by doing that, we're flattening the curve and making it safer for everybody to eventually go outside. So I'm making a quick grid, and I chose to do this on a smaller size and not 3x4 because I didn't want to have to use another page protector in the middle. And I like to have a variety of sizes in my album. So I wanted this to be an insert. So this is 8 1/4. Yeah, 8 1/4 by 5 1/2 is what I made it. And then I punched the holes using, if I can find my hole punch, I'll show you. Yeah, I punched the holes using this 6-hole punch. This is my favorite 6-hole punch for adding into Allie's albums. It's a great 6-hole punch for any 6-ring binder you use. So I have a few embellishments that I haven't used at all. So we're just going to embellish this. I am so sorry about that buzzing. My phone just won't stop. That's the disadvantage of being home, is people just want to talk all the time because we're all bored. But I have a few embellishments that I haven't used all month. So let's pull them all out because maybe I can get a few of them on this layout. I was just so like bent on like using up cards and telling stories that I forgot to embellish my stuff. All right. So let's see. So I have, this one says binging. This one says, oh, streaming. That's a good one. Currently streaming. I like that. All right. I'm going to use that. I'm going to use that one, those two together that say currently streaming. I'm definitely going to use my acrylic piece, which is why I left all that space in between. So I'm going to stick this down first, and then I will come back. I'm going to just use a bit of red line tape to stick this down, and then once that's on and secured, I will come back. Okay, so I stuck down my watch piece. I just used a bit of red line tape. I find red line tape to be the best adhesive when it comes to things like this. And now I'm just going to, do I want to embellish this any further? Oh, I could put this, the one that says this is my happy place. I do like that. So I'm going to put the one that says this is my happy place. And on the back, I'm going to put the one that says love watching you be you, because I'm just watching my family and friends. And we're using our stuff up, right? This is the last layout. I'm going to, I mean, obviously do it intentionally, but I'm going to just put as many embellishments as I can on this page. Okay. So I'm gonna put this one up here. Okay. And we'll add a few of these stickers. So I'm gonna put this one, not this same color actually. I'm gonna put this red one because I like this red one with the eyeball. And this purple TV. I really like the colors in the watch kit. It's all these like really fun muted tones. There's nothing like terribly bright, and I really like playing with these colors. All right, so there's my insert. That's that done. And then with my other bit of journaling, I left some space across the top because I want to do some stamping. So I made a 4x6 canvas in Photoshop, and then I did my journaling. And I intentionally started my journaling. I intentionally started my journaling 1.25 inches down. Sorry, I'm putting my Post-it tape down. So I use Post-it tape because I'm going to mask off this area. And I'm going to do some stamping just to embellish this. And then I think I'm going to staple on these 2 acrylic pieces that say currently streaming. Now, what do I want to stamp? Do I want to stamp TVs? Okay, so I figured out what I want to do. I'm going to stamp Totally Love Watching This. And I'm going to attempt to match the colors in this Check This Out card. So I have a swatch book of my inks. I'll quickly show it to you. So here is my ink swatch book, and this is what I work off of. I have all my inks, and then I have my like mini cubes swatched, and this is what I work off of to help me figure out what colors I want to use. So I'm going to go with the peach, sea glass, and citrine, and these are all Stamp Market inks, and these felt pretty close to the colors in the that black card. Sorry, I'm stamping and I can't stamp and talk. So I'm going to, like I said, I masked off some of that area, and I'm just going to go ahead and start stamping. So I'm just about done with my stamping. The sea glass color is a little bit lighter than I thought it was going to be. In my swatch, it is like a lot more opaque than it is here. I don't know how I did that with my swatch, but I still think it works. So what I did was I just created a kind of brick pattern with my stamping. So I just varied where I started the stamp so that my stamping is layered. So now I'm going to take off my masking tape and we'll see how this looks. Okay. All right, so we got it. All right, cool. That's actually just what I wanted. So here is, I'm gonna hold it up so you can, I don't know where the lighting, but I'm totally convinced that that green is gonna get lost in the pictures. But I think it's gonna be good. So I'm going to put these two, where's my tiny attacher? So I don't know, I think I'm gonna put them, okay, here's what I'm gonna do. Instead of putting them on top of each other, I'm gonna kind of put them side by side. And I'm just putting a quick staple through them. I find with like plastic pieces like this, I prefer to staple them on than try to put any sort of adhesive. Just because it's gonna show through the back and I don't like that. That's not like my preferred look. And then there were these cool acrylic pieces in the kit that I also haven't used any of. And since this is the last one, like let's just use as much of this as possible. And there's this fun play symbol. Like it looks like the YouTube play symbol. That's what it looks like to me. It's just a play button, but it feels like the YouTube play symbol. So I'm just going to use a little bit of red line tape to adhere this right on to my stamped card. So the last thing I wanted to do was add a date to my card. So I have my mega date stamp from Studio Calico, which I don't use often enough. I really enjoy this stamp. It's so big. So it's not like my normal rolling date stamp where if I make a mistake, like I can pretty much cover it up. This is huge. So if I made a mistake with stamping that, like there's no covering that bad boy up, but I didn't. So that worked out okay. And I just use Ali's Auto Rock ink, and I'm just going to put a banner up here. I'm gonna put this one that says relax right here. Yeah, I'm gonna put that one that says relax. I'm gonna set this aside just so that ink dries and doesn't smear everywhere, and finish up with my layout. We are just about done with this one, and I'm really liking how this is coming together. Okay, so I'm pretty much done with embellishing this. I don't think this needs anything else. What I might do is put some chipboard on this one that says this view. See, the thing about this chipboard set, and the reason I've been personally struggling with it, is I like banners, and there aren't any banners on this. They're just like huge circles. So I feel like I personally feel limited, but that has never stopped me from using something. I'm looking for my acrylic piece. There they are. Okay. I really want to use another one of these acrylic pieces. Oh, I like that. Okay, I'm putting another one of these acrylic pieces right above my watch title. So I like this little phone piece, and I think it goes really well with what I'm documenting because I'm documenting screens. I'm just gonna use a little bit of glue in my fine line bottle for this one, just because it's super fine and I wouldn't be able to fit, what's the word? Oh, red line tape on this. I'm gonna add, okay. So now I gotta figure out what I wanna do on this side. I really want to embellish this card. I just don't know how. I have this the clicker. What's the word for this? Like, you know, like the thing with the movies. Oh, I could put that there and then put a sentiment. Okay, we're gonna play right now. Okay, so I decided to kind of create a visual triangle using some chipboard and that acrylic film clapper thing. I really don't know what it's called. I really wanted to add that to this card. I just couldn't figure out how to do it without having it just be like a random solitary element by itself. And the best way I find when I want to add something is just add more things and create that triangle. The visual triangle is like always your best bet. Okay, so my fine line bottle is just clogged. We're just going to figure this out so I can actually glue this down. Okay. And I'm just using Scotch Quick Dry in my fine line bottle. And now I can put my little clapper, which makes me very happy. And I want to staple on another one of these pieces, but this one you can't see on this card. Okay, never mind. None of those are going to work on this dark cardstock, so I'm not going to do that. That's it. All right, I'm like heading into hyper embellishing territory, you guys, and I find myself there very often. And sometimes you got to leave a layout alone, and a clean line is best. So I am taking my own advice and leaving this alone. I have to let this dry before I can put it in the page protector. Okay, friends, so I've got everything into my album. So here's how the spread looks put together. So I have my first page with some cards and some journaling. I have my insert that has the acrylic piece and some of my screens and a card. On the other side, I have 2 more screens, another 2 cards, and then I have a card with my dates and my journaling and another bit of acrylic pieces and some of these plastic pieces. So here is my last layout for the watch story kit. And I will show you what I have left. So I have a bit of chipboard and a bit more cardstock stickers. I mean, obviously I have more of this TV pad because it's kind of impossible to finish all of this in one project. I have a few of the cards, again, because I use a lot of my cards digitally. So I use this one. If we count the ones I use digitally, I use this one. And I use this one. Not this one, not this one. And this one, and this one, and this one, and this one. Okay, and this one. So if we count the cards that I use digitally as used, then I have a few cards left. I'm going to make an effort to actually use my physical cards and not just reach for digital, but it's just, it's my happy place to go straight to digital. Obviously I have my stamp set. I have one TV, which my top antenna came off, but I'll figure out how to use that on another one. And I have a few of these acrylic pieces. So I think I made a pretty big dent in my watch story kit, and I got 4 stories told. So I'm really happy with that. And this will all now get broken up and like interspersed into my stash where I can use it on future layouts. But now that watch is all wrapped up, I get to tell you what our next story kit is. So drum roll please. Next month, Krystal and I will be crushing the Gratitude story kit. Gratitude came out last November, so it's not as old as some of the kits we've worked with before, but I think in light of everything else that's going on, and Krystal agrees with me, we could all work on documenting the good in our lives right now instead of hyper-focusing on what's not good. So next month we will be crushing the Gratitude story kit. I hope you guys come along and tag along and start documenting the good stuff in your life, which we could always do, but I think right now more than any time we could do with focusing on the good. So that's all I have for you today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe if you're so inclined. Let me know what you think about Story Kit Crush and if you're going to be tagging along with our next story kit, and I will see you around in the next video. So till next time, keep it crafty and have the best day. Bye!